We're here tonight to talk about the whole Ice Poseidon situation. I was no stranger to what happened over on Twitter as Ice Poseidon released his statement regarding why Twitch should let him come back to the platform. And I'm going to be not just the voice of reason, but I might be the only voice of opposition here, saying that Ice Poseidon is completely and totally barking up the wrong tree by even trying to have anything to do with Twitch anymore. Because whether he likes it or not, whether any of us like it or not, the world is changing. And you got to look forward, not back. And so much of Ice's video on Twitter and his statement just show that he's stuck in the past. I don't think he wants to accept that things are changing to the point where he might actually end up on the right side of the YouTube-Twitch divide if he continues trying to develop his YouTube presence. So let's get some graphics on the screen here. Let's get straight into our discussion, and let's get some music going. I kind of like the YTAL tracks in the background, so we'll do the 1% thing here, so it's not totally silent if the drive can spin up in time. That's the problem. All these YouTube audio library songs are over on a hard drive, so it actually has to spin up when I haven't done anything in a couple of minutes. Power save type stuff. Alright. I don't want to hear it too much through the headset. It's more for so it's not totally silent for the people listening in. How's our ducking for audio? Okay, yeah, there's plenty of space. Want to have this sound kind of sort of like a radio show in that respect, but without all the distortion I had yesterday. I got a little too heated up and was shouting a little too much for where the microphone's placed. Check 1, 2. This looks like it's something I can use here. Alright, let's get into this. So, the whole Ice Poseidon situation is over on Twitter. Let's just blow this up so it can be nice and big for putting it on the screen and get his business email off the darn screen here. So, are you folks ready for a little mugshot? Calm a Karen down is trending in the United States. Ye old Twitter. So, alright, let's see. Move this get Winamp over here and cover up the Bachelorette thingy here. So, anybody who follows what's been going on here, he's got 2,000 responses to it. You've probably already seen this video. I'm not going to play it on stream because it's right there on Twitter, and I've already linked to it on Twitter. Twitter.com/MultimediaJay, or just skip me altogether and go to Twitter.com/RealIcePoseidon. And this has been his pinned tweet for quite some time now. It's an apology video to Twitch, but as far as I'm concerned, he's looking back instead of looking forward. So, let's begin. I've also got a couple of PowerPoints as well that we can work with here, so I can keep my train of thought, which is something I'm having a little bit of trouble with in these shows. It's one of those things where if you listen to yourself or watch your own show, the VOD or whatever, after you finish, you can catch yourself doing stuff that you will never catch while you're live, and work on getting a little better at things later on. So I'm looking at this open letter to Twitch here. 3 years I've been banned indefinitely, 2 years I've been streaming on YouTube. Just want to go over it real quickly before putting it on the screen. So let's go over this. It has now been over 3 years since I've been banned from Twitch indefinitely. For 2 years, I'd been streaming on YouTube. For about 1 year, I had my own streaming network, and after that, I ended up on Mixer for about a year. Right after I was banned from Twitch, I started streaming on YouTube. At the time, I was very afraid of losing my audience I had from Twitch. The air conditioner's starting to work. Time to bust out the lip balm. Yeah. It's probably a good thing I'm a dude. I probably wouldn't handle lipstick very well the other way. So. Thank you for following, Best95341. This template does not have pop-ups yet, but I can still see them. So let's go over this Ice Poseidon situation here, and let's see here. Been about 3 years since I was banned from Twitch indefinitely. For 2 years, I'd been streaming on YouTube, 1 year, etc. Alright, right after I was banned on Twitch, I started streaming on YouTube. That's not a bad idea. At the time, I was very afraid of losing my audience, did everything I could to please them. I knew I had a very toxic community, so I listened to them and doubled down. Okay, so first order of business with the whole toxic community thing, that's called demographics. It's called who do you want watching your content. And you need to tailor your content in order to attract good people and drive away the bad ones. The negative side of it is something that isn't very popular, but at the very same time, let's see. The negative side of it's not very popular. Trying to find, there we go. Not very popular, but it's just as important, because if you don't decide, if you don't make these decisions, then you're gonna end up, circumstance is gonna make the decision for you, and that's what happened with the toxic community problem. It's not so much that the audience is the issue, but at the very same time, the content that you put on these platforms affects who listens or watches. So if you attract bad people, you have to figure out what to do about that, because otherwise we're going to have an incident like, for those of you who may not be familiar with the Ice Poseidon situation, Ice Poseidon is infamous for various situations involving behavior that Twitch used to be infamous for a couple of years ago. I remember a couple of years back, Twitch was very different, and it was known for all kinds of bad stuff like doxing and swatting and stuff like that, and there were YouTubers that were actually swearing off Twitch that they decided they would never have anything whatsoever to do with Twitch because of the experience they had with getting DDoSed, getting swatted, all kinds of this negative stuff that was getting Twitch in the news. So that's changed in recent years to the point where there are YouTubers that consider Twitch streaming to be something that they might want to try getting into, even though the platforms are different. But I remember once upon a time, Twitch was actually driving away YouTubers who wanted to get into streaming. They were like, I'm not putting up with this. And that was basically when all of this happened. But the thing here is, with the whole plane swatting thing and stuff like that, the footage and even the phone call that called in the threat to that plane is still on YouTube to this day. So there's no crafting any narratives here. Everything is still floating around on the internet somewhere. So no crafting narratives. You gotta own up to it and move on from it all. And make sure your audience isn't gonna go roaring back in the wrong direction. Let's get back to reading this here. This caused strain on my real life relationships, and I regret giving power to people who don't have their best interest in me. However, I do not put all the blame... Let's see here. I do not put all the blame on my community, because in the past I too was careless, immature, crude, along with many other negative attributes. Yes, I've seen the footage from the plane incident, because it's still out there, even though I'm not contemporary to it. I've seen the footage from the airplane incident. So that was just basic internet safety. The issue here with that is, do you really need to be streaming? So I actually have Ice Poseidon's YouTube channel on here. Just bounce over this real quick. Here's the problem. Ice Poseidon, IRL streamer. Why? You're on YouTube. You don't have to be restricted to just IRL streaming and making content based on IRL streams. Make uploads. Uploads have their advantages versus streaming. Back to the statement. And also, the big thing with uploads is when it comes to a safety situation like getting on a plane and not wanting to cause an incident like that, you can just vlog it instead of doing a live stream for safety. So you don't accidentally get a bunch of people on a plane in a situation like what happened there. I think what's going on here is, and this is something I talk about on this show, the live streaming bubble that exists right now hasn't burst yet. But if people took a more critical look at live streaming versus making YouTube videos, they'd agree with me on this matter, that there's a couple of things that YouTube, if they ever fixed it, all these live streaming platforms would be in trouble. I'm telling you right now, donos are probably one of the key reasons why people want to become streamers. Imagine if YouTube had a tip function for uploads. They already have supers for super chat, super stickers and stuff like that. There's already donos for when you're live, but imagine if you could dono to uploads and then make videos shouting out who the donos were next go round. That's if YouTube ever fixes that, I can tell you right now, Twitch and all of live streaming as we know it is in trouble. People are going to be rethinking everything. So, which I've grown from, and I'm sorry for the mistakes I have made, which I know there are plenty. After being on YouTube for a year, I decided to create my own network of streamers. This led to all of their actions falling directly on my shoulders, and it wasn't until then I began to realize that this is what I did to Twitch. I don't think I would fully understand why I was banned from Twitch without this experience. I too had to ban people, kick them from my network, and fully disassociate and cut all ties. Well, here's the problem. Some people, unless you permaban them or do something else, if you have bad people following you around, you got to get the authorities involved and restraining orders and stuff like that. It's not enough just to cut all ties with them, because if people can still follow you, they will. And they'll just be there off in the shadows somewhere looking to cause another incident like what the major incident with you, Mr. Ice Poseidon, was. That's going to be part of the problem with dealing with this, is because I have a hard time either talking about the situation or directly addressing the guy, but I do intend on sending this show in some form to him after we finish filming all of this, recording it, etc. These were people who did not promote the image that I wanted and portray my brand the way I had hoped. I am thankful for this experience because from that I have grown. I understand the amount of responsibility that the network owner has for each streamer and representative. From my experiences with a lax network, I faced problems managing my streamers. I was always the one left to clean up any mess, and there seemed to be little fear of consequence. This has definitely given me a better understanding and respect for Twitch's terms of service and community guidelines. Which brings me to today, where I'm doing everything I am able to reform my once toxic community. And I can vouch for this because I've seen people saying, oh yeah, he got better on Mixer in the last year. He's a very different person now. We'll get to that later. I am proud to say we have made some amazing strides in doing so. About a year and a half ago, I was feeling depressed, stressed out, and my life was spiraling out of control, so I decided to take control and move away from a toxic environment and start over in Texas. I also saw an opportunity with Mixer to move over my core audience and focus on myself and building a healthier community. After about a year of hard work and slightly questioning myself, I'm finally confident again in my community because I have seen it turn around completely. After Mixer closed down, my new community is still translated over to YouTube, and that makes me extremely happy because I can see my hard work pay off. So that's the demographics thing again. People who support you and respect you regardless of what it is that you're doing. So if they like you enough, they will actually not, disappear just because you change platforms. And they also will probably not disappear if you change genres too, like if you do more vlogging, and even if you're not just limited to IRL streaming. Right now in my career, I am the happiest I've been in 4 years because the community is positive and supportive, and I can count on them to have my back, along with all the experiences I have gained. After all these years, I just want to say thank you, Twitch, for giving me the opportunity to start my career, and please consider reading my ban appeal that I recently sent. Thank you. Then he links to, then he references the old the Twitch account or something like that. So here is where we start playing devil's advocate here. Let's say there's a cynical person at at Twitch, who's going to say no to this. What will they say no for? This is where we can bust out the PowerPoint. So, the problem with videos like this, is that it sends a very clear message that Ice Poseidon needs Twitch more than Twitch needs Ice Poseidon. So I can tell you right now, the biggest reason why Twitch would not act on this is because of either the severity of what happened before, but let's not even talk about what happened before, because we don't even have to. The biggest reason why I can imagine Twitch completely ignoring this and never doing anything about it is because of a little something we've been talking about on this show for quite some time, and that is baggage. Why on earth would Twitch bring back any talent with any kind of baggage when they have people coming to the site and streaming who don't have it? This is the Twitch version of something that I've observed on YouTube recently with some creators, and I've seen it to a lesser extent on Twitch as well. But in the grand scheme of things, one of the biggest things you have to keep in mind as any kind of content creator is that baggage sinks your channels. Baggage sinks your channels. The sooner you realize that, the better you're going to do. Content creators with baggage lose to content creators who don't have baggage. So, if there's a personal issue or something like that, you can maybe talk to your community about sympathy, but don't make it a big issue. Don't make it something that changes. Don't make it something that is... I'm sick of these trends thing. I wish I could just turn off this whole trends thing that Twitter is trying to flash on screen to get me to want to look at some of this. I'm in the middle of a show. Twitter, whatever, man. But the issue with... Let's see if we can blow this up even bigger. Oh, yeah, cool. Much better. So long, Twitter nonsense. We'll just look at the mugshot here. So yeah, that's the issue here. Why would Twitch bring back talent that's already caused problems? Why? I mean, it would be a nice redemption story, and heck, guy wore a nice shirt for it and everything. But why? Why would Twitch, in any way, shape, or form, bring back somebody with so much baggage when there's talent coming to the platform that wants to be there, that can basically be a clean slate and not bring this kind of baggage with them? That's why I have this again. Again with the numbers. This is from the Streamlabs quarterlies. We keep referencing this because this is from the spreadsheet I did earlier where I was comparing Mixer to everybody else. If we look at Twitch's numbers specifically, Twitch versus YouTube, 3 times the audience, nearly 10 times the streaming hours. 3 times the watch hours, 3,000 versus 1,000, and these are all in millions, by the way. Nearly 10 times the streamed hours. So, 14.2 million hours streamed on YouTube versus 121.4 million hours streamed on Twitch. These are people that are putting in the time. Twitch, if anything, because of this bad ratio of watched versus streamed versus literally versus everybody else, Twitch doesn't have to put up with anybody they don't want to put up with. It's that simple. They're not short for talent. Facebook, of course, we know they probably have issues with the way that they deployed their partner program, level up, whatever. But in terms of Twitch versus YouTube, why does Twitch have to care? Why does Twitch have to do anything? The answer is they don't. And so that's why I think that the best thing that Ice Poseidon can do is double down on YouTube. Here's another element to this as well, before we get into reasons to second guess the guy. Groveling does nothing in business. Results are what you have to do. Okay, so I hear, oh, Ice Poseidon, he's reformed, he's a different person, he's been streaming on Mixer for a year. Alright, he's been a different person on Mixer for a year. So here's the thing. He mentions in his video that he's actually been streaming for several years. So okay, 1 good year out of all that time. It's not significant enough to start really mattering yet. What Ice really should do is quit looking to the past and quit being so obsessed with Twitch. Double down on YouTube. Learn about uploads versus streaming and more general content. And most importantly, on the streaming side of things, it's one thing if you reformed your community and whatnot on a last place garbage platform like what Mixer turned into. Look at this. 28.3 million hours streamed. 81.4 hours watched. That's a PR failure right there, that so few people tuned into this amount of streamers for this kind of ratio. It's part of the reason, and I ran some numbers also simulating a mass defection of talent from Twitch to Mixer, and they still weren't as big as Facebook. That's how far behind the 8 ball they were. Mixer, okay, so you did well on Mixer, okay? Big fish in a small pond. What matters is doing well on YouTube. And let's look at Ice's channel on YouTube here. So first order of business, I'd get rid of the IRL streamer and just make this bigger. Just say, bam, Ice Poseidon. It's not about being an IRL streamer, it's about just plain being a personality. Because YouTube also allows for uploads and not just streaming. And look, uploads. Look at this, there are some uploads on here. I'm having a hard time finding recent streams. Way too short. And yeah, 4 months ago, 5 months ago. Why not just show streams on here? Do the VODs thing, just like on Twitch. Double down on YouTube as a platform here. Here's the thing, it's one thing if somebody is a big fish in a small pond on Mixer. Or in Ice's case, he reformed on the itty-bitty distant last place platform. It's something else completely in the arena of put up or shut up for Ice to build himself into a major streamer on YouTube and catch Twitch's attention that way. I think YouTube is the ticket, especially since we know that YouTube is a sleeping giant. They're only a few UI updates away from causing serious problems for Twitch. They're already trying to attract talent as well. There have even been some exclusivity deals inked for things like Overwatch tournaments and stuff like that. But anybody who follows multimedia stuff like this can tell you YouTube is the rising star. YouTube is probably what people are going to want to start taking seriously a lot more than Twitch. Twitch is still the dominant platform, but here's something very important when it comes to all three of these, the three remaining competitors here, Twitch, YouTube, and Facebook. I should probably crop this too to get it down to just these three services, and then change the size of the fonts and everything. We'll do that off stream. Here's the big issue when it comes to Twitch versus YouTube versus Facebook. Out of all three of these companies, Twitch is the most mature streaming platform. They got very robust features. There are some things that I've gotten used to on Twitch that I look for on YouTube. They're not there and I miss them. Like highlights, clips, cloud editing. You don't have to download, edit, re-upload for taking the key components out of your streams and turning them into YouTube videos. So you just get some show flow going over on Twitch. And you've got yourself one heck of a YouTube video that you can just send straight over. But here's the problem. All three of these remaining companies have some kind of integration with their parent company in some way, shape, or form. Twitch has integration with Amazon. YouTube has integration with Google. Facebook, of course, is Facebook. The problem is the parent integration of Twitch is not as enticing as what YouTube and Facebook have. YouTube has, of course, uploads. You can have the algorithms take you on and entertain. I mean, it's turning into, if you ever hear people talk about just one more turn when playing a Civilization game, just one more turn, and then suddenly it's 5 in the morning, you've been playing this game all night. Sometimes YouTube turns into that. You're like, I just want to find something to watch before I go to bed. 6 hours later. So YouTube is a very strong search engine. They also have the upload side of things, and they are the platform worldwide for uploads. Nobody even competes with them. The only reason I do anything on Twitch is I want to have a separate platform for live streaming, because the biggest weakness of YouTube is their automated systems. Sometimes they don't really work like they should, and you don't get views, and something breaks, and I mean, I can vouch for that. I was very frustrated on Twitter earlier in night shift day, so technically yesterday afternoon. So here in the U.S. Eastern time zone here, but technically yesterday afternoon, I was pretty upset because once again something on the YouTube studio or whatever was up and down. YouTube is having so much trouble keeping their own stuff working on the technical side of things. There's all of a sudden, I mean, I've got 100 plus megabit down internet here, and I have videos buffering trying to watch them in 1080-30. Or I go behind the scenes and this data won't load, that data won't load, this is broken, that is broken. I get the screen with the monkey with the wrench, you know, the YouTube, something's not working right screen. And I know YouTube is scrambling because things are going to heat up between these three. So, and I know this, and I know that, think about it this way, if these things on YouTube aren't working right from a technical perspective, of course I can guess that the algorithms are hurting my views or something. So, regardless though, YouTube is only a couple updates and fixes away from posing very serious competition for Twitch. Facebook has integration, of course, with the real life component of it, so you can start with an audience of family and friends if you want to stream games over there. I think the biggest problem with Facebook is the technical effects or the unintended consequences of how they run their level up program. And the problem with both Twitch and Facebook versus YouTube is lack of access to transcoding, which hurts the ability for people to tune into your stream if they don't have very good internet. So I'm doing 1080 only, and I'm doing 1080-30 because I'm not doing anything that's 60 FPS. So that way, people that can only watch 1080 stuff on YouTube can tune into the stream instead of getting buffering all over the place. However, if I go to YouTube, as I joked about and took a screen print of the last time I did some game streaming over there, here I am, bump on a log game streamer playing ESO on YouTube at 3 in the morning the other night. And I have full transcoding. As a moron that doesn't even have an audience when I'm streaming on YouTube. And I've gone around to lots of other rookie streamers over there, and I've seen the transcoding there because it's a mature feature over on YouTube because of the robust upload video platform that they have going on here. So I think Ice Poseidon shouldn't think he's missing anything because he's doing stuff on YouTube right now. I think this is an opportunity. And in terms of putting some oomph to the stuff that he has in his apology and his things like that, and his twit longer, he should become something serious on YouTube and stop barely using the platform like this. So here it is. But also remember that the old stuff from back in the day is also on YouTube as well. The plane SWAT thing, even the phone call is still out there. So it's not really, I don't think it's worth it to go try getting Streisanded, trying to get that stuff taken down. It's one of those things where what doesn't kill you makes you stronger. And he talks about reforming his community and being more constructive. I think YouTube is the place to do it. So what's this live stream thing? Is this a separate channel? Hold on a second. Does he have a separate channel for his streams? Why? YouTube's an all-in-one platform here. Oh, okay. It just goes. Yeah, it just goes to his stream page. Yeah, offline screen. So actually, I could bookmark this, and if he goes live, I could click over here. Hey, look, Peppy Frogs. Yeah. Back. Get off of that. And close the side menu. So, okay, so we have uploads here. Why not organize this? Let's go to the home page. What do we have here? So, Raw Pass broadcasts 11 months ago? Why, if people want to catch a VOD from a stream, why not just reactivate this? Now, one of the things I know with YouTube is that they let you choose whether or not your streams go unlisted after you're done. So, CX clips, so what is this? I know YouTube has more robust playlist use like this. What I would do is I'd make multiple genres or playlists for every type of content that he makes. Drop the IRL streamer thing, because consider this with uploads. Yeah, they don't have donos until YouTube figures this out and fixes that. Yeah, they don't have donos, but the fun part about uploads is when they start getting ad revenue, and if you make content that people may still want to watch. This is too dramatic of music here. Sorry, jingle punks. Joy to the world. Why on earth is there holiday music? Take that off the playlist, jolly old St. Nicholas. All right, let's load something else here. All right. This is Ytail music from the YouTube audio library, by the way. So here's what I would do if I was Ice. Number one, embrace YouTube because it's a rising star of a platform. I think that some of the scrambling going on between the big three companies here is because of the fight that's coming up between the three of them. Facebook's aggressively growing. You got Tencent trying to start some platforms recently. Yeah, that company. They're trying to break into the market. And at the very same time, YouTube, all they have to do is fix a few things with their UI, and they are way more of a force to be reckoned with. The biggest issue with streaming on YouTube is that streaming is an add-on feature, whereas over on Twitch, you can tell from the UI and the design decisions that streaming is central to the platform. But here's the problem with that. Here's the problem with that sort of stuff. People don't yet have the mindset of trying to find stuff to watch on Twitch when they don't want to watch someone live. They do on YouTube. Oh, nobody's live? Let me see what their latest video is. And actually, I think Ice should just drop the IRL streamer thing and just be Ice Poseidon and bounce between uploads and maybe bring in an editor. I don't know, but a lot of the big content creators do that over on Twitch. The big thing here is, leverage this page a little bit better so people like, who's this Ice Poseidon guy? They come over here and they've got stuff to watch. So let me actually load my channel up here, which is getting a little too complicated, but quite frankly, youtube.com/MultimediaJay. So my channel is a little dated at this point because I set everything up during the whole situation with YouTube 1. So you come in here as somebody who's not subbed yet. You have Delosaurus Rex the Genesis, which is basically the beginning of the tech video stuff last go around. And I actually have an update to that I've been meaning to make for the longest time. Channels I like: Ashny Christ, Freakin' Reviews, Random Gaming, and HD. These are all their channels that I like to watch. It gives people an idea of whose style I like to be similar to. We have uploads, which eventually includes live streaming. Featured content, I have a special playlist just for the top of the channel page. Crossover highlights is stuff from other platforms like Twitch. Wacky World of MultimediaJay, this is the tech videos, around the house videos, and things like that. Basically, if I grab a camcorder and do stuff, it's this. Why does this not have... I gotta fix the... This should have a title screen. I don't know why it doesn't. But that's kind of out of spec for this thing here. MultimediaJay radio style and other podcasty uploads. That's what this is. This is stuff that's designed as much to be listened to as it is to be watched. So, I'm not really doing too much on stream anyways, except talking about stuff or playing video games, but I've got all the stuff going in OBS. The MultimediaJay vlog and MultimediaJay's quick O-flicks, shorter or simpler stuff. Some of the simpler videos that I want to make will probably go in here at some point. I don't know, I'm going to mod that. Play some stuff in other gaming videos, anything that has to do with gaming content specifically. Sometimes I do parodies and stuff. Why the heck? This is broken. None of these radio style things should be in here. I must have misread it because it's supposed to be random style. Let's get those off the screen. I gotta go clean that up. Oh, look at this. There's something wrong with the playlist. I gotta fix that later. None of these should be in here. It should be more comical random stuff. And then some created playlists and whatever's the most popular. Now, I actually maxed out the channel with the number of things I can display on it. I'm not saying Ice Poseidon needs to go into that level of detail, but it would be good so you could just tell people, and matter of fact, let me just see what happens. Get the browser off the screen for this. youtube.com/IcePoseidon. If I type that in, does it bounce me over to his page? Yes, it does. That works. Nice. That's what I'm looking for. People should be able to QVC. Get that off the screen. People should be able to just type that in and go straight to the landing page and look, content. So I think the big thing here is, I think what's going on with Ice is that he's too stuck in the past. He's associating success with being a Twitch streamer, and the truth remains that the market is changing and everything is changing. Twitch is the dominant streaming platform right now, but I'm telling you right now, that's not going to stay there. That's not going to stay that way, especially with YouTube. YouTube is, yeah, they've had YouTube gaming and stuff like that, but they're only a couple of UI updates away from being a lot more serious of a competitor, and they already have broke that many digits when it comes to hours watched versus streamed. I am very curious as to what happens when the Q2 2020 report comes out and we see how these numbers are for Twitch, YouTube, and Facebook. I'm very, very curious. Now let's round out this discussion on Ice Poseidon with some antagonistic stuff. Second guessing Ice Poseidon. Time to bring out PowerPoint here. So here are the various ways in which somebody could second guess Ice Poseidon. So first is, you could think that Twitch is going through some bad stuff. Ice is just trying to look not so bad and get back onto Twitch. This is the stuff where if I was being critical of Ice, this is how I would second guess him. Mixer is shutting down, so Ice is trying to kiss up to Twitch because his streaming platform shut down. There is no crafting a narrative or spin for what happened 3 years ago. All of it, including the plane swap, phone call, and footage, is still on YouTube. You can still see where Ice wasn't being safe enough with his private information. And that's the other part of that, too. Does this guy really have to IRL stream things like going to the airport to catch a plane? Probably not. But because he has a presence on YouTube, he can make a vlog out of that. And here's one of the key differences and one of the amazing things about uploads versus streaming. Oh, whoops, I leaked some information. Now something bad's gonna happen. In a video, you just edit it out, blur it out. There's ways to address that. And if you watch your stuff with a close enough eye and deal with that stuff, you can edit out any issues after the fact. Lastly, current Mixer streams and other content show what kind of content Ice is really making these days, regardless of his apology. So no matter how nicely he dresses up, no matter how nice he dresses up in his video, all you have to do is look at his VODs on Mixer. Mixer's still going for a couple more weeks. VODs on Mixer, tune into the YouTube stream. If somebody at Twitch was really taking a look at his ban appeal, and I doubt somebody is, because Twitch has its hands full with everything that's going on right now, even if this is too sorry, silent partner. Tchaikovsky. There we go. So even if Twitch, I think Twitch has its hands full. Even if Twitch does check everything out and stuff like that, all they have to do is look at what he's doing now and ask themselves, but why would they even do that? Like we mentioned with the whole browser thing, there are plenty of people that are coming on to Twitch that want to be Twitch streamers that don't have any baggage. Twitch doesn't have to give Ice Poseidon any attention whatsoever. Far as they're concerned, the issue's over and done with. The issue I have here is that Twitch has changed very substantially since the whole Ice Poseidon nonsense happened. So, a couple of years ago, Twitch was infamous for being a place where all kinds of bad stuff happened when you were trying to live stream. Not so much the case anymore. I can take them a lot more seriously as a platform right now than I did a couple of years ago. When I think Review Tech USA still has this video out there, but there are YouTubers who swore off Twitch back in the day because of all the bad stuff that was happening. They would never be a streamer. They were done with it because Twitch didn't have their stuff together. And so the thing is, in that climate, somebody who does what Ice does, Twitch has changed in the past 3 years. So maybe it'd be worth checking that out at least. But I think there might be some other stuff going on, especially if the authorities were involved because of what happened. That may mean, yeah, this has to be permanent. Or keep going. And that is when Ice Poseidon doubles down on YouTube and stops using it as a second-rate platform that he's just stuck with for a while. Beef up this channel page. Show recent uploads as well as VODs for people that want to watch long-form streams. Extract killer clips and make more videos. Get to know why uploads are such a good thing and why you don't have to stream all the time, especially as a YouTuber like this. Not every YouTuber has to be just uploads or streaming. Could be a nice mix of both. And these numbers are pretty nice as well. So there's a rule where you basically drop a decimal, and that's the difference between subs and views on YouTube these days. So he's got 3-digit plus a K. So good for his videos would be 2-digit plus a K, and he has that. There's really nothing here that's under 10,000 views. And the fun part is, if he makes content that's not time sensitive and is binge watchable in this day and age of Netflix, give people a reason to watch your content maybe even years down the road. Somebody finds out about Ice Poseidon and they go check out his content. And they give his channel the Netflix treatment. They binge watch a lot of his videos and the algorithm passes them around various videos that he does. So that's part of this too. And that's what I think is one of the fundamental strengths of videos versus streaming. Stream content tends to go sour pretty quickly, so to speak. As a great example, anybody who watches Pokimane, big streamer though she is, anybody remember what the deal was with her stream 3 days ago? Do you want to watch a 3-day-old VOD? No, like however many hours it was. Probably not. But content that lives on a platform like this, content that lives on a platform like YouTube, you can set something up, put something on there that's not time sensitive, and people will be watching it sometimes years down the road. I can vouch for that as well. So I think the thing with Ice is that he's putting way too much of an emphasis on being a Twitch streamer, when in reality he should be doubling down on YouTube and developing both types of content. Drop IRL streamer, because as far as I'm concerned, he's probably got enough power of personality between YouTube and his Mixer audience that he could just drop that completely. And just be Ice, whether it's a stream or whether it's a video. You know, stream or video, and balance the two evenly, because right now there's only a few issues with the upload system that's really keeping uploads from being taken more seriously versus live streams. Let's take a look at some YouTube channels of people on the other side that are not primarily streamers and illustrate some of this stuff in action here. So this is Live Each Day. This is the sort of thing that Ice could do if he just wanted to stop streaming for a while. And this is a daily vlogger channel. this is what vlogging evolved into on YouTube. It's run by Corey, aka Mr. Safety, from back in the day. I'm sure that name won't mean too much to somebody that's not an old school YouTuber, but he still has his Mr. Safety channel though. So Corey, before the quarantine, said that he was... Corey mentioned at one point that he was leaving YouTube, but he was just sick of everything, but I guess with the quarantine, he kind of came back into all this. Now, he had a stint where he was living in Alaska, and he made all kinds of cute little videos about his time in Alaska, and genius, pregnant lady lawn chair hack for big baby belly. Oh, that's cute. But he basically does family vlogs and stuff like that, and daily vlogs and stuff, but the point is, it's not stream content, but he edits things together, so it's like watching a reality show. I'm not the kind of person that spends all day... This is a little excessive for a discussion like this. There we go. Yeah. Curate the music correctly, dude. I should make genre shortcut folders for the YouTube background music for this, so I can play lighter stuff when I want to play lighter stuff, and crank up the metal when I want to play metal. Of course, that'd be Ethan Mikesell most of the time. But yeah, Live Each Day. This is Corey's family vlog channel. He does a bunch of other channels as well. But the big thing is, he said he was done with YouTube, but I guess the quarantine brought him back. I don't know. But here's the thing. Unfortunately, his channel was flagged by COPPA as being kid-friendly, so there's no bell for this kind of stuff. Probably because he does videos of his kids, so that runs afoul of the whole COPPA thing and things along those lines. But here's the thing. This is daily vlogs. This is what vlogging has evolved into. It's not like watching an old school blah blah in front of the camera. It's not like... I'll have to cut the music for this. It's not like this. Nope, not even that. Hi, YouTube. So-and-so here. Blah, 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 blah. No, it's nothing like that. So, it's not like that at all. It is like watching almost like a reality show of sorts, although he is walking around with a smartphone or a camera most of the time. So, this is the sort of non-streaming content that ICE could look into. Obviously, there's an emphasis on family and kids and projects around the house. I mean, ICE does very different stuff, but he could always take things in this direction, too. He is on YouTube now, so he has these tools available. He just has to embrace them. This is the life of Price. Love this channel, even though it looks like he's having some issues with views lately. But that's because his channel is kind of niche. He's a bass head, basically. And I used to watch his channel a lot a couple of years ago because he would go to all these conventions and he'd film all these big subwoofers and stuff like that. So this is more IRL kind of content. This is YouTube's answer to IRL streamers. And the fun part about making IRL videos like this, if something bad happens that could get you in trouble on Twitch, you just edit it out. So learn to use a video editor, and that's the thing. Like I've been saying all this time, uploads would be a lot more popular if it wasn't for shortcomings on YouTube. I guarantee you, the minute YouTube figures this out and they fix these issues, the streaming bubble bursts. People don't want to stream when they can just make a YouTube video, get donos from that. So the only real niche for streaming, if that happens, is being live and being part of the event. So let's see here. Juke Squad PPJT. I have no idea what this name even means. They do pranks, they do IRL and pranks. These guys really know how to live it up. I think they're in Florida. I bought 14 trampolines for our best idea yet. These guys are living the dream, man. But this, again, is not live stream stuff. It's edited together, but it's awesome stuff to watch, even if they do get in trouble with the police from time to time because it's pranks. So, yeah, this is like a spiritual successor to Jackass, if you ever saw that show back in the... I mean, who hasn't? No, seriously. These guys are awesome. So, The Adventure of Endless Adventures. Oh, they have a Twitch channel. I'm going to check that out as well at some point. And I got to follow them on Twitter. So, getting back to the more family-friendly stuff, here's Frosty Life. This is a guy out in the Midwest, I'm guessing, him and his family and his pets. I stumbled across this channel when there was a picture of his cats that were getting ready to go chase a squirrel if he opened the window out in the snowy whatever it is. But this is getting back to the whole IRL stuff. This is what IRL is on YouTube from a more YouTube-y perspective. So much smaller channel. So 2 digits and a K for subs, getting 1 digit and a K maybe for views. So again, the decimal rule for YouTube. Another issue with subs versus viewers on YouTube is that channels that are around for a long time can have subs go inactive, and YouTube is very, very careful about not deleting accounts that are inactive until they've been really, really inactive for a long period of time. So it's very easy to wind up with a difference between subs and views. But yeah, YouTube, he called himself Windjunk. He's been Frosty Life for years. Why didn't he just change his URL? I don't know. Let's see here. But yeah, Frosty Life does videos of his family, stuff around the house, and his pets when his cats and dogs are acting weird and stuff like that. So these are just some examples. I think maybe with what Ice does, this is probably the style to get some ideas from. Except with less pranks and stuff. Obviously, you want to be a little bit less, edgy with the content and stuff like that to not get in trouble again. But yeah, there's a lot of ways that somebody can second guess the whole Ice Poseidon thing. But I think what he really needs to do is embrace what he's got going on YouTube and double down on it. Not chasing after Twitch. Don't chase after Twitch. Don't chase after the past. Move to the future. Because we know the future is going to be very interesting. Once YouTube gets their stuff together and once Facebook gets up to speed, I am very curious what these numbers turn into in quarters Q2, Q3, Q4, when this all heats up. YouTube in particular is only a couple of UI updates away from being a lot more serious of a competitor to Twitch. And quite frankly, when these two get their stuff together, Twitch is in big trouble. So I expect all 3 of these companies to scramble. And if Twitch does nothing, Ice Poseidon needs to double down on YouTube. Because he already has a presence on YouTube. He could do more with what he has already to make his channel more that he could, introduce himself to. So let's look at this one more time. So drop IRL streamer, just be Ice Poseidon, be a persona. Don't say that you're just an IRL streamer because that limits you. Take the socials, put them in the socials menu. So Twitter is there, Instagram, add a link, Discord, add a link, Mixer's going away, so who cares? So, link to the live stream is cool. Link to the live stream is cool, but I think you can put that front and center so that it pops up on the homepage when you're live. And he's missing a section here. There should be something right here by the uploads that changes to your stream when you're live. I mean, I have that right here. Delosaurus Rex the Genesis. This will turn into a live stream if I go live on YouTube. And the fun part is also streaming on YouTube, the streams turn into uploads when you're done. So just put them in their own playlist because it's long-form content. So the big thing that Ice Poseidon needs to do, double down on YouTube, embrace what makes YouTube special versus Twitch, and build up something awesome on YouTube, because that will put a lot more oomph behind what he's saying in videos like this and twitlongers like this. And that's all I have to say to that. I'd say the Ethan Meixel music March On goes pretty well here, except I gotta stop minimizing this program. I'm not used to using Winamp anymore. That, ladies and gentlemen, is where I stand on the whole Ice Poseidon thing. We're gonna go to an intermission. When we come back, internet open lines, and just gonna poke around and look at some other things on here as well. This is MultimediaJay radio style. Don't touch that dial.
MultimediaJay radio style.